Welcome to 30-Second Chances, where we ask deep, contemplative questions and provide far too little time to formulate thoughtful, reflective answers. My guest today is D.W. Fearn founder Doug Fearn. Doug, how you doing?
Good, Daniel.
Good. All right, you know the drill, 30 seconds on the clock and on to the next question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Excellent. Okay. Describe your job to a 5-year-old.
I help people make music.
I mean, how?
Okay. I help people translate their music. Oops, 5-year-old.
Yes, 5-year-old.
Yeah, my 5-year-old daughter would have understood that, but I'm trying to think of more generic 5-year-old. Well, there's so many things I do, it's hard. So I would say,
Sorry, next question. What's the strangest thing you believed as a small child?
the strangest thing I believed. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I was always a very scientific kid. If I didn't know the answer, I'd find somebody that gave me a reliable answer.
Well, science can be deceiving too, no?
Well, true. But I can't remember anything that really fits that description.
Oh, man, no boogeyman under the bed or anything, huh?
No.
All right, next question. Tell me about your most recent injury and how it occurred.
That's an interesting one. I was out walking with my two very rambunctious Vizsla dogs, and we live in the woods, and they ran off into the woods in pursuit of some odor they picked up. And I was not going to pursue them because I didn't want to go into this very steep hill that they clambered up. So I waited a while, but then I did. And unfortunately, I stepped on a log that was rotten and my foot went through it and I fell backwards, hit my shoulder on a rock sticking out of the hillside and broke my shoulder.
Okay, next question. You've just woken up as a fictitious superhero with a completely pointless or semi-useless superpower. Who are you and what's your costume look like?
Oh my goodness, you're asking me questions, that I know, that's the purpose. I understand. Well, I think, being an audio guy, I'd like to have the power to hear way beyond the normal human frequency range and amplitude range. So I'd like to be able to hear things that were incredibly quiet and hear frequencies that are way above our hearing range. I think it would be so interesting.
Sure, if that would be interesting or torture. All right, next question. What's the first piece of gear that you bought where you felt like shit just got real?
Was probably a pair of Neumann KM84s, the first real mics that I had. And I used those mics forever. Unfortunately, I don't have any of them anymore. I just probably wouldn't use them anymore just because of the recording style that I do these days. But that was a real important step to me back then.
I'll bet. All right, next question. If a theme song had to play whenever you walked in the room, what song would it be and why?
Well, that's really a difficult question to answer because, I don't tend to, believe it or not, I don't tend to listen to music. I listen to the stuff I'm working on. And I listen to the stuff that friends of mine are working on that they send me. But that's about it. I'm really out of date as far as the music is concerned. So I don't know. It depends on the mood I was in and what I was doing. The theme would be, I have 100 different themes.
All right, next question. Tell me about a memorable prank that you have pulled on someone.
This is audio related again. And this was when I had my first studio, which was in a row of storefronts with apartments above. I lived in the apartment above the studio, but the one next door to that had an old couple that every time somebody drove by with their radio blaring in their car would call the police. So they would constantly call police saying that we were making noise, and didn't even have sessions. And then I decided to get even with them. So I had a sound effect of a tennis match, and I recorded it over and over again on tape, set it up with a timer to go off at 2 a.m. I wasn't there, and cranked up the Altec 604s as loud as I dared. And they never called the police again.
Oh, man, I love it. All right, next question. Tell me about a time you were woefully unprepared for something.
I think that happens a lot in my early days in sessions where, I was learning my way through. I didn't mentor with anybody. I just started out from scratch. So there were a lot of times when I got in there and I would have to ask. First time I ever recorded a double bass or, upright bass player was like a well-known jazz guy. And I said, how do people mic your bass? Because I didn't know. And after that, I said, I'm going to learn ahead of time what the instruments are and how I'm going to, how I should do it.
Good call. Good call.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that concludes our regularly scheduled questions. I'm now going to put 30 seconds back on the clock and allow you to either answer for me a question you wish I had asked you, shamelessly plug something, pontificate on life in general, ask me a question, whatever you want. 30 seconds, it's all yours. Go.
Okay, well, I think, in my life, one of the joys of my life, and I've been so fortunate to have made my living for professional audio all my life. I'm fortunate that except for a few years early in my career, I've never worked for anybody. And that's just wonderful experience. Not everybody can do that, but it's been really wonderful for me. And because I like doing so many different things, I love a day where I can go down to the shop, work on an idea for a product that's in development, go mix a song, go for a walk in the woods, whatever. It's just like all those different things. I just like breaking up my day into as many different segments as I can.
Sounds ideal. Sounds fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. Doug Fearn, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you, Daniel. I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun.